Hey, it's Father Taylor here, and it's March 11th, and I'm here today with your Friday eBlast. So, boy, so many things to talk about. So, first of all, let's talk about the wider world. The situation in the Ukraine and 2.5 million refugees has reached a place of desperation. And so, for that effect, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, I'm all but positive that we are sponsoring, along with the other clergy of in town, John Hampton and the first selectman, where we'll be having a vigil for the Ukraine on Sunday, March 20th at 3 p.m. And the only thing I'm waiting on is it at Town Hall or is it at the half shell at Simsbury Meadows? But a couple of things that we're going to talk about in church. There are great charities that already have people on the ground, and I just want you to be aware that we'll be talking about those charities and things in church. But there are some great charities that have already been vetted. They have high integrity, and right now, the ones I suggest you look for are the ones that actually get relief into the Ukraine. There's very few, but there still are some that get into people in Ukraine. And the second charities would be the people at the border. And third, which is going to be an ongoing issue, is going to be for refugees. On the front end, food and water and just basic products. Poland is already getting overwhelmed. So we have a lot to do to be able to help these folks. So it's called that attention in continual prayer, the God who is the King of the universe will step in and end this suffering and deal with this separation that needs to happen between all this terrible stuff. Okay, so that's the Ukraine. Secondly, around church, by this time you know that the beloved husband of Pat Joy, Bill, died earlier this week. And right now, Pat and her family are just asking for some privacy. But again, prayers. And then following those prayers, as things goes on, we're going to need to find ways how we can support Pat living in that big old house and that big old property. So we just want to make sure that we are taking good care of this person, Pat Joy, who has taken care of Trinity Church people for a very long time. So I just commend her to your prayers. So also coming up is a Lent tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at the church is an event which is going to be for prayer. It's a contemplative prayer time. Be quiet before the Lord. For some of you, the idea of a silent prayer retreat is almost too much. It's intimidating. But I commend you to, many of you have met Cy Varland in the past and the crew that he meets with and his little team, putting together a really great retreat, which will be helpful. One morning, it's all it is, but a chance for you to turn everything off for a couple of hours and to learn how to be in the presence of the Lord. You don't have to register, but that's tomorrow morning at the church. Last Tuesday night, we had our first community conversations interview with Clark Poff, the pastor of Valley Brook Community Church. Man, great interview. Interesting guy. Learned so much about what they're up to, what God is up to, connecting with people. That is available for you on Facebook and our YouTube page. You can see that interview in full. This Tuesday is vestry, but the next interview, the following Tuesday, is with the person who started the program with the foundation or the movement, A Place for Jordan. His mom is going to be there, the one who started this whole thing. Jordan died of a drug overdose in his late 20s. And his mom, and many of you know, has started this wonderful program, really helpful program. We're going to have her in there for this interview. All that information is available at the text with those beautiful little graphics that we have will be available for you to kind of take a look at. That will be the next Tuesday. This coming Friday, I want you to pay attention that we have a very short, like a wonderful little service. It's not really evening prayer. It's not really Compline. It's not really evensong. So we're calling it Vespers with Music. A really nice time for at the end of your week to be able to come and sit. It's a very quiet service with some candlelight, some really wonderful stuff that's being set up for you. And I want you to think about who you could invite. The service is less than 45 minutes. It's a really nice little service. You come in, be quiet. There's just a little bit of music that Paul has put together and some prayers. That Vespers is coming up this coming Friday. In 2 weeks on Saturday will be a class, which is, I forget what cool title I came up with, something like, so what's it mean to be an Episcopalian or something. This is there to help you with questions and to give you information about what is it that makes an Episcopalian an Episcopalian? What is distinctive in the tradition of following Jesus through the Episcopal Church? This will be a great way to be able to come in, and also for you to consider coming into this class. You would want to consider, if you haven't already, to reaffirm your baptismal vows, like a personal way of kind of getting your baptismal vows kind of starting up over again, to be received by the Episcopal Church, or to be confirmed. And so it's a great class. I'm giving plenty of free time simply for you to ask questions. We're going to talk about everything from where did the church come from? What's so big about the prayer book? Where did these prayers come from? What's all these traditions that we hold? What are the essential ones? What is it that we believe? What don't we believe? How are we different from being Roman Catholic or Baptist or Jewish? So anyway, so put all those things together, and that's coming up in 2 Saturdays. So take a look at all the materials you have right there on the printout that's coming out like you're on this email. And it's got all the details, times, and dates for things coming up. All right, I got to run because I'm going to a planning meeting for Holy Week, of all things. So anyway, a lot of information to digest. You might want to watch the video again, but check it out. Thanks for now.